I get asked a lot about what books to buy when learning Japanese calligraphy. While there are some great books out there, the selection is quite limited since Shodo is a very small niche in the art world. There isn't a singular book that has it all. Each book focuses on a particular element of calligraphy. It's up to you as a practitioner to compile together everything you learn from each author. Learning strictly from books is really hard. I know, I've tried. Before I made my t-shirt, I bought pretty much every Japanese calligraphy book out there and tried to teach myself. Somehow, my calligraphy failed to look like the samples in the books. And this frustrated me to no end. I realized I needed instruction that was more in-depth and with someone correcting behind me the lines that I was doing. After I understood that I wasn't going to learn from books, I started using them as references instead. Even today, I go back to them to find new kanji or be inspired by the author's calligraphy style. Having said this, however, the following are my 5 favorite Shodo books. These are all available on Amazon, and I've provided a link in the description below in case you're interested in buying any of them. The first one is Kanji and Kana, a complete guide to the Japanese writing system. This was the first book on Japanese kanji I bought. I remember buying it at a Japanese store near Tenshinkan Dojo in Chicago. This is not a calligraphy book. It is a limited kanji dictionary. It is really useful for learning new kanji with readings and meanings as well as word combinations. This book may not be as relevant as it used to be because most of this information can now be found online. However, I still find myself picking this one up from time to time. The second one is Brush Writing, Calligraphy Techniques for Beginners. This was the first book I bought on Japanese calligraphy, and I still use it to this day. It has clear explanations on materials, how to hold a brush, as well as some historical backgrounds. It also explained the basic strokes and provide examples of basic kanji brushing kaisho. Photos are black and white and the language is simple to read. I'm not particularly fond of the author's calligraphy style per se, but I like the words and phrases used as samples. The third one is Shodo, the quiet art of Japanese Zen calligraphy. This one is probably the most well-known book on Japanese Zen calligraphy. I really like this book. It offers calligraphy examples from different Zen masters, giving you appreciation for the different styles of each master. The author explains in detail the meaning behind the Zen phrases, providing insight and understanding of the kanji and the Zen interpretation behind it. While it serves as a great reference book, it's not really suitable for beginners. The book does explain some basic concepts, but since it's focused on Zen calligraphy, the samples used are fairly complex and kind of confusing at times. I think the book was made more as an inspiration and reference piece than a learning material, but nonetheless, it's a great book to have on the shelf. The fourth one is The Zen Calligraphy and Painting of Yamaoka Tesshu. This is my favorite book on Zen calligraphy. Because my lineage of Zen training is connected to Tesshu, I look up to his calligraphy a lot as a major source of inspiration. This book collects some of Tesshu's best work and offers translations and explanations of Tesshu's calligraphy. This is great because Tesshu's calligraphy is really hard to read, so it's nice to have translations included. The book has a wonderful chapter that explains Tesshu's training style known as Ken-Sensho, sword, sand, and brush. This style of training was further developed by Omori Roshi, a successor in the Zen and calligraphy lineage of Tesshu. And the fifth one is Sho, Japanese Calligraphy, an in-depth introduction to the art of writing characters. I don't have this book with me right now, but like the title suggests, this book is heavy. I was always intimidated by this book. It offers little pictures and tons of text. This is the book I'd use if I were teaching an academic course on Japanese calligraphy. It has history, samples, interviews, and offers a practical guide to begin practice. Most of the book's images are drawings instead of pictures, so I find it hard to understand a little bit, and the language is heavy and very detailed. Therefore, it reads like a textbook more than a casual book. So far, this is the only book that I've ever read that explains carved calligraphy, and it was extremely helpful for me when I began experimenting with carving and wood calligraphy. I'm not sure how much one can actually learn from this book alone without the company of a t-shirt that can explain in simpler terms the concept brought in the book. However, it serves as an excellent reference material and a great source for those interested in learning a little bit more about the history of Japanese calligraphy. I've always been a fan of books. I really like having a physical book in front of me when studying calligraphy. Of course, I have more books on my shelf, but these ones are my favorites and the ones I keep finding myself going back to again and again. If you have a favorite book not included in this list, please let me know in the comments below. Maybe I don't have it and I would love to check it out. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching and I'll talk to you soon.